gentlemen, VIP Promotions proudly presents an evening of championship boxing. We are now live and exclusive on VIPBoxing.tv. Our commentary team at ringside, Mr. Luke Madeira and Mike. The officials have been appointed by the Central Area Council of the British Boxing Board of Control. Steward in charge at ringside, sitting proudly, is Mr. Alistair Hayes. This first contest is 4 3-minute rounds of boxing in the middleweight division. Introducing to you firstly, boxing out of the blue corner, wearing the multicolored shorts at the weighing he scaled, 11 stone, 1 pound, 1 ounce. Tonight is his 14th professional appearance. Presenting from Warminster, here is Paul Cummings. And opposing him, boxing out of the red corner, wearing the black colored shorts trimmed with white. At the weighing he scaled, 10 stone, 13 and 1/4 pound. Tonight is his 43rd professional appearance. He hails from Driffield, presenting the hugely popular Danny Lethal Little. Timekeeper at the bell is Mr. Peter Humphrey from Doncaster, South Yorkshire. Referee in charge of the action, Darren Sargentson from Manchester. 4 3-minute rounds.
Okay, so as you both know the rules, just keep it clean. Don't let anything low. When you watch your heads, when you say break, take steps straight away. Most importantly, defend yourself at all times, so it's close.
Here we go then. First contest of the evening. Danny Little, Paul Cummings. Alongside me at ringside, joining me on commentary for this one. Mike Gibbons, you've got a connection to one of these lads in the ring, haven't you?
Yeah, used to train Danny, both as an amateur and in the early stages of his professional career. It's an invested interest, really, if you like, watching it. It's a pleasure to be ringside here with you, watching it.
Yeah, and it's quite a rare opportunity for Danny, isn't it, to be in the home corner. Got a lot of support behind him. He's obviously sold tickets for tonight, and he'll be looking out there and trying to get a win under his belt.
This is vital, you know, when these lads go out on the road. You know, they know the game. You know, you are sometimes, and more times than ever, just, you know, picking up them losses, getting experience, earning a living. So, you know, opportunity to come up and box in front of your home crowd and earn a bit of a win. You know, a bit of a home bonus, and hopefully for Danny tonight, maybe pick up that win as well.
Yeah, and he's come straight out from his corner, hasn't he? You can tell he wants to impress tonight in front of all his friends and family that have come to see him.
He has. He's come out swinging a little bit, but I'd like to see him maybe get behind that jab a little bit better and just establish that range. And just there, you must have heard me. Just work that range off there and then bring them bigger shots in off that jab.
Yeah, for Danny, I mean, a win can do a lot, because you see Chris Jenkinson challenging for the Central Area title. Got Craig Derbyshire who won it. Darryl Sharp won it. All these so-called journeymen that are picking up titles, and a win can put you in contention for these big fights if he can get the win tonight.
Definitely, it's that sort of that is the nature of the game. You know, just because they're going out on the road, there's the only difference between, you know, these lads that go out and box each week on the road, you know, to against maybe a home contender, is that the fact that they don't sell a great deal of tickets to the regular home fighter. That is the only difference. You know, they're as hungry as the next kid, and you know they're keen to pick up them wins and get as far in this game as they can.
Yeah, and they prove when they step up to title level, or they turn up and they really fancy it, that these so-called journeymen, they're not bad fighters in themselves, and the record's very deceptive if you don't follow the sport as much. And someone like Danny, he probably could have had a more successful, in inverted brackets, career if he'd have wanted to go and challenge for titles, that kind of thing. But he's chosen this route, and he's one of these very good fighters that sit in the away corner.
He's absolutely tough as they come. Popular figure in the ring is a fellow Driffield man, Curtis Woodhouse, and was having a conversation with Curtis just before his last bout, and they were saying, you know, Danny, is he as good as his record would suggest, or as poor as his record suggests? And Curtis Woodhouse said, look, he's one of the toughest men I see. He's in the car park if you want to go find out. You know, the kid is absolutely relentlessly tough, and he was like that as a young amateur. And you know, he was a belt holder, Yorkshire Challenge belt holder as an amateur. National quarter-finalist as well, and he boxed his way through, and he was always a nightmare to any travelling club or any club he went to. He always gave up. He won more than he lost with us as an amateur. He came in there with a lot of hopes, but like most boxers, you know, when they turn over professional, it's hard to sell the tickets, and unfortunately you can't get that place on a home show if you can't shift the tickets somewhat.
Yeah, exactly. Remember on Twitter, hashtag VIP Boxing Live. Tweet us in if you've got any questions, any thoughts on the fight or the upcoming fights. Give us a prediction for the main event of the evening, Central Area title fight. On Facebook as well, we're on the live stream. You comment on that, we'll get your comments read out. Cracking night of action here in Hull. Just mentioned it, the Central Area title. Chris Jenkinson challenges for it tonight, and what a bonus that'd be for him if he can get a win tonight and get a title to show for his career so far.
Definitely, Chris is one of them likeable characters in the game. He's hard-working. You'd love to see the travelling away fans that's come. Would love to see him do that. Being a Hull lad though, an unbiased view, of course. The local lads of Valdez, and he's a different, proposition altogether. The kid. Both of them looked in fantastic shape yesterday. We held the weigh-in at the City of Hull Boxing Club in Orchard Park, and both lads looked absolutely tip-top condition, and both lads are up for this tonight, so the fans are in for a real treat come the main event later.
Yeah, neither man's come as the away fighter, so to speak, and just go through the rounds, go through the motions and get paid and get out of it. They both come here to win this title. They both had training camps for it. Normally you see these guys keeping quite busy, but they've put their heads down in the gym, and they're both coming tonight to try and get that title.
Definitely, Chris Jenkinson looked absolutely superb yesterday. He even had a cheeky tap of the belt that was draped over the shoulder of Valdez and said, "I'll be taking that one home," and which, of course, Valdez didn't take too kindly to. So it's all sporting, but it's in for a good matchup later on tonight.
Yeah, for Danny Little, I think we can safely say that first round's in the bag for him, and he's come out here in the second with the same intent as the first. He's really putting it on Paul Cummings.
He is, and Cummings just, maybe just needs to establish that jab, just throw a little bit more, and rather than just standing there, and his feet really aren't moving too well at the moment. He's just kind of happy just to stand there and absorb what Danny's got. And Danny will be quite happy for that, because he just misses there with a big backhand and gets caught himself. So yeah, Danny definitely seems on the front foot. Danny's enjoying a good little shot that by Cummings, and there he goes. Cummings just smells that little bit and he'll come on now.
Yeah, and if you look at the pair, you'd think it'd be Danny Little that'd be trying to close the distance and get in close, being the shorter man, and he's doing that effectively so far, working the body really well.
It is, as I say, Cummings could make things a little bit more difficult if he just established that jab and his range a bit more and got his feet moving a bit better, but I say he's having a little bit of success in this round, is Cummings as well. I think Danny's still on top, putting the pressure forward, just having to absorb a little bit there.
Yeah, and I know we spoke about Danny Little coming in and he'll be wanting to get the win tonight, but for Paul Cummings, he's probably looked at Danny Little and thought, this is a chance for me to get a win under my belt, and he's going for it tonight as well.
And that makes this an attractive bout again. As I say, both lads have enjoyed the times out on the road, been busy lads, both of them. And when you get two like this together, anybody's game. Both fancy it, both want it. So it's just started to heat up a little bit.
Relentless pressure from Danny Little, this, isn't it? He's firing loads of shots in, and not all of them are landing, but when they do, they're really crunching into the body, and then there's another left hand that got through. Yeah, and again, he's just having success there, working upside and then just switching that attack to the body, as you say, just coming round. Danny's always happier on his front foot. So this style, the way this is going, this pace suits Danny better. Yeah, and you do wonder if Danny Little came out against some of these prospects he's been in with and put it on them like this, how they'd react to it, and if they would have got the wins that they have got over him. This is absolutely true. I mean, Danny's been, don't get me wrong, Danny's been in the ring with some absolutely sensationals. Dean Bairn, he's even been in with Terry Flanagan. He's a former WBO champion now, is he? Is it? Yeah, he's moved up, hasn't he? So I think we can say former. He's #1 contender for the super lightweight title. So what? Former world champion and mandatory challenger, maybe. Still a handful in anybody's backyard. But he went in with a very late. I think it was a 24-hour notice we took, and he went through. I think it was in Sheffield. Went to box Terry. Terry was victorious in the 5th round during that fight, but still, it just goes to show the calibre of opponents Danny's been in the ring with. A world champion at the time. He was a British lightweight champion at the time. Yeah, and Terry's certainly no slouch, a VIP fighter, and he's moving up to 140 now. He'll be getting a shot at that vacant WBO title to hopefully make himself a 2-weight world champion, and that's no mean feat either. Difficult, and it's something all the boxers are trying to do. Once you've hit one level, you're kind of looking, if you're not that comfortable at that weight, or you're looking at that weight above thinking, I want to make that one now my new home. You're looking at that #1 spot. To do it twice, wow. Yeah, and I mean, it's been difficult for Terry because he's kind of one of British boxing's best kept secrets, really. He's not really had that breakout fight yet. The likes of Jorge Linares or Mickey Garcia, someone that he was talking about, and hopefully at 140 that can happen now.
He's got the right manager, and if it's going to happen, Steve Wood will make that happen. Just looking at Danny here, they just heads up a little bit. I think the referee said something to Cummings at the start of this round, and there's a little nod coming in from the blue corner. So I don't know if that's a little cue for just stepping a big shot coming in there. They're just happy just to go to it, these two lads. Just as you said, there's a chance. I think Danny's probably a round away from taking this fight, to be fair. But the way these shots are sinking in from both of them.
Yeah, and Cummings has started to be a bit more active in this round as well. Maybe he's been told he's got to show the referee something in this round, and he's come out and tried to do that. But Danny's back on top here, I think. He just seems to have a little bit more behind those shots that he's throwing. It's slowing Cummings down a little bit, whereas Danny's just charging forward relentlessly.
Just as he's going to the body there, Dan, Cummings just not dipping them knees a little bit, maybe catching some of them shots on that. You just wonder how much those body shots will start to take out them legs as that fight goes. It's only a 4-rounder at the end of the day, but still, anybody that's been in there and taking them shots, they must take a toll.
Yeah, it's a shame really fights like this are only over 4 rounds, because you'd love to see them develop over 6 or 8 or even more than that.
I think someone's gum shield out. Is it Danny's? It is Danny's. Just drops his arms there in the neutral. Cummings there, just taking up that opportunity to a quick breather.
He's probably quite grateful, wasn't he, that the gum shield came out. A valuable second just to brace yourself for another onslaught from Danny Little.
The timing of it was probably perfect. But again, just laying it on him again. Good strong performances by Dan.
Yeah, he seems to be letting Cummings throw a few shots, tire himself out a little bit, and then jumping on him relentlessly, getting on the inside, working those body shots, and that seems to be the pattern of the fight so far.
Yeah, Danny's taken some big shots throughout his career in various fights, but he's probably one, as I say, Curtis has said it, he's one of the toughest. He just looks under a bit of distress there, Cummings, for a moment there, but Danny's one of the toughest kids I've ever known, and sometimes, as you say, he's just shipping them in a little bit, but he just walks through them.
The guard doesn't seem to be as strong from Cummings now. A lot more of the shots from Danny Little are getting through here.
That fatigue is starting to look quite evident now in Cummings' performance, and he's been an hard 3 rounds for him. What's he got in the reserve? What's he got in the tank?
That's it, Danny! It's Danny!
Just a little pause in the action there, probably welcome by both lads, to be fair. It's been a good pace.
A lovely right hand that's gone through again from Danny Little.
The referee might looking close here, the ref.
Yeah, and the referee was really having a look at it then. Maybe a few more seconds and he might have jumped in there, but Cummings has made it back to his corner at the end of the 3rd.
He needs to get on his feet now in this last round, doesn't he? He needs to put a bit of distance.
Yeah.
Really,
and for you tonight, it's quite an important night for you, isn't it? Elsewhere on the card.
Yeah, definitely. We've got Ryan Gibbons making his debut. He's my eldest son. He's been long awaited, this one. He's really looking forward to it. Trained well. And he's been a 12-week champion on this. It's a 4-rounder. But he's up for this. He's up for tonight. He's facing Anwar Al-Fadeli from Sheffield, who's again experienced, giving age and everything away. Maybe looking to impress here at home.
Yeah, and for you personally, being your son, does that change anything? You're a little bit tougher with him in the training camp, and you can push him that little bit harder, and I suppose you know him better than anyone, so that can only benefit him in the training camp as well.
That's it. You know when he's giving 100%. You know when he's maybe just having that little bit of a rest period. But Ryan's an honest athlete. He gives everything, and you'll see tonight in the ring, he gives such an honest performance. But splitting that dad-trainer sort of emotion, I think, is what you're talking about there. It is very difficult.
Yeah.
He's the one that often reassures me. I'm the one that's with a word facing the corner. Not in the corner, so in the dressing room, but he's a good lad, he's right. He's got a good head battle. He's a mature 21-year-old. And so he's going into this one with his eyes wide open, and that gives me a bit of confidence as his dad, and certainly as a trainer, I've got all the confidence in the world in him. I think the referees had a little word with Cummings here, you know, maybe just say, look, come on, let's have a good round out here this round. He's not heavy, he's been a hard fight for him, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And Danny Little's not letting him rest. I think that's the thing. He can take these shots from Danny Little. It's just the pace of it, the relentless nature of the shots that he doesn't have the time to recover that he normally would have in other fights.
He just hasn't let up. And as I say, you know, Cummings has tried to. Oh, it's a big backhand that. Referees look close. I think that's hurt him a little bit. He's done well to take that. He's just going through a little bit of a storm at the minute. He just needs to ride this and come through it.
I don't think there's any popping Cummings punches anymore, is there? He's just throwing because he needs to throw, try and keep Danny Little off him. But as long as Danny Little keeps coming forward I think he might get the stoppage. The referee's having a close look at it, and rightly so.
He's not coming back with a great deal here, is he?
No, a couple of clean shots here, and I think he might be game over. Nice right up to the body, a short one there.
Oh, it's a big uppercut on the inside. Danny's been caught. Danny's hurt there.
That really hurt Danny Little, didn't it?
He's having to hold on here.
There's his experience kicking in. He's just looking at his corner, giving him a little nod that he's recovered, and then he gets in close.
It was a lovely little uppercut from Cummings on the inside. Just caught Danny as he came in. And that caused him a more further. I think his head's clear now.
I don't know where that came from, because it looked as if, as we said before, that a bit of spite had come out of Cummings' punches, but he found something there with that uppercut. It was a lovely shot.
Proved us both wrong with that shot, didn't he? He must have heard us, you know. So, no, I've still got something in the tank yet. But that was a lovely time shot. Danny's been coming in with his head down. He's been open a little bit for that uppercut as he's come in, and that was beautifully timed. He's recovered now, though, and I think he's still on top of the round.
Yeah, as long as he can get to the end of this round, which I think he will do. I think the fight's in the bag for him, but he wants to stop it. You can tell he's really going at it here.
He's just getting a little bit rough on the inside there, Dan, with the shoulder there. That's a great bout.
And, you know, on paper, it looked like a bit of a nothing fight if you didn't know the two guys, but they really both gave it their all tonight, and that was a fantastic fight to kick off the show.
Looking around the crowd, they're very happy, very entertained by both lads. Both lads second applause there. Fantastic bout.
Michael Pash just getting in the ring to give the official announcement. I think Danny Little's got this one, but you never know in boxing, do you? Stranger things have happened.
I think apart from the one shot that really took place in that last round, a superb timed uppercut that caught Danny, but I think he was pretty much on top for all four. Probably give it a 40-36 score.
Yeah. Our referee, Governor Sargent, sees this the first contest of the evening. 40 points to 37 points for your winner. Being from Driffield,
Yeah, the last one shared on the scorecard at 40-37.
You appreciate it.
I think it was that shot that caught the referee's eye there.
Yeah.
I like that one.
As well. Paul Cummings,
Fantastic Cummings, and if he could take that into his next fight, I never know.